Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today... No, we're not doing episode 6 again. Jesus Christ. Today we are beginning the narration part. My god, it's gonna be a lot of parts. For episode 7 of the main campaign. Oh boy, this will be a build up to a 10x big character, alright. Also, before we begin, I would like to, for the regulars, like to point out, before I showcase in the stage how many stages we're gonna cover with the story today, I want you to think right now about it, about the number, and try and guess how many are gonna be part of this very first episode, until we get there. But in the meantime, for anyone who is new bumping into this, I am Jacob. I do narrations for Arknights stories and stuff. And on top of that, obviously, since there are multiple characters talking, I do some, amateur voicing of the characters just to have some differentiation between them. So it's not just one voice, right? But yeah. Anyway, for the usual spiel off, in the last episode... Oh boy, in the last episode... we the final stand of Frost Nova against the 3 Rhode Island operators that, well, one, or rather shall I say 4, considering, well, one is not a combatant but was very present, which is the Doctor. But it was literally just Blaze, Amiya, and Greythroat versus Frost Nova in those final moments. And we had a very sad scene with Frost Nova dying in the arms of the Doctor, accepting in her last moments the plea, request, or whatever how you want to call it, the invitation to join Rhode Island, even though she will not get to experience any of that. Still, stuff will move along because of it, as will be showcased in future stories and future parts. But yeah, but at least in those final moments, she, as her body shutting down and the perma-cold that has been continuously present around and in her because of her arts finally shuts off, and for the first time in a long time, probably since childhood, she manages to experience another person's warmth. Oh boy. Even just thinking about it, it's killing me already. But yeah. And at the end there, we then see the Doctor taking Frost Nova back to Rhode Island, to her new home for the first and last time, to be cremated because of the fact that people who are infected essentially explode into an originium dust cloud. Pretty violent one than that, which obviously spreads originium around. So people who are infected need to be cremated to stop it. Well, it's the best solution anyway, especially in cities and stuff. But yeah. That's one part of the ending. The other part is a meeting in Wei and Wu's office, in which Amiya literally storms angrily in and drops the contract that they had with Lungmen and any other benefit he wants to just throw at Rhode Island or not. She dismisses it. Then Shen joins the fray. Kaltzit is also present, and well, before I say end, Shen also accuses Wei and Wu for pretty much issuing the order to slaughter every single infected. Yes, I want to really reiterate that. Wei and Wu literally ordered, and we will see more about the reasonings and stuff throughout this episode, but he literally ordered the slaughter of every single infected there in the slums. Yep, that was a thing that happened. It happened off screen. but it happened. But at that very crucial moment, as Shen rushes in, very pissed off at her adoptive father, well, we got a message of, hey, the Chernobog core city is moving, and it's moving straight for Longmen and will reach it and potentially smash right into it in 32 hours. Oh boy. Well then, that is happening. But yeah, that is gonna be one of the central themes of this chapter that we are gonna start today. And as you can tell by the picture of episode 7 and the title, The Birth of Tragedy, it's time to face the Patriot. Also, for people who have watched the Dark Knight's memoir series that went up on the channel over the past week or so, yeah, you'll get a lot of more context for this chapter going forward. But now that we are in here, well, this has definitely more stages than the previous one. Definitely more, including some extra scenes. But if you're still guessing and wildly guessing, how many stages are we gonna cover in today's story? 1, 2. Yep, 2. And yep, you can see the timer correctly on the episode. 2. Yep. Well, without further ado, let's begin with one of the central themes of this whole episode, which is the titles on these film rolls, on these cutscenes. 32 hours. That is literally the title. A person walks into the sunset alone. Well then, let's begin. An old monster once told me, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I always thought it was stupid, but the guy is a monster, so maybe I do give this some thought. Does a bug jump into a flame to get stronger? So stupid. No, let's not talk about how dumb and weak a bug is. You know, no matter how strong a bug gets, in the end, it's still just a bug. If a bug jumps into a flame, all it proves is that the heat messed up its brain. Assuming it even had a brain, it obviously went mad. But what if I was to leap into flames? Besides proving that I'm crazy, what else would that prove? I'd come out a bit charred, but how would that make me any stronger? But we're talking about death here, and what does an undying monster know about death? Alas, such is the nature of the bitter death that none may resist. You'll still talk to me? That's a surprise. I thought you were totally caught up in your plan to destroy Longmen, Tallulah. W, you haven't given anyone notice of your visit. Ha! Oops, my bad. I've been a mercenary for too long, forgot all about that reporting every detail of my life to the boss thing. Sorry, leader. But you know I can't go all the way up to the top of the command tower, so I have to ask you to stoop to my level. Your sarcasm isn't doing us any good, W. Reunion needs the might of the Sarkas, and we should strive not to add any more personal conflicts between us. Just call us devils. Only the bleeding hearts of and self-righteous call us Sarkas. Us mercenaries, we know exactly what we are. Strange. Devils, the inferior race of the banished. You mercenaries cannot accept this definition, nor will you take pride in it. Duh! But you people started calling us devils, not as a hate thing, or because it was catchy or whatever. Devil is a fear thing. you people called us that because we scare you. So us mercenaries like being called devils because we know exactly what it really means. And we always make good and sure anyone left alive takes these subjects straight to the heart. Oh, sorry. Why yapping on about this like trying to show off in front of an expert, isn't it? We're a no-name merc squad famous for brutality. But compared to you, why, it's like a worm trying to go up against a crab. After all, leader, nobody scares people better than you. Inflict terror upon your enemies and provide warmth for your friends. To strike fear into our enemies and bring hope to our comrades. That is the way Reunion has always done things. So, driving Ursus's core city in Longcheng is also in line with a certain comrade's ardent wish. Our warriors are still bravely fighting inside Longcheng. They need our assistance and we will bring it to them. The infected inside Longcheng require hope, and our warriors here have expressed their earnest desire to be that source of hope. Everyone's wishes find harmony here, and the responsibility to see those wishes come to fruition belongs to us, Reunion. This will also bring benefits to the Sarkas, I assure you, beyond doubt. What your kind seeks is not hope, so I'll provide you with profit. Sarka's mercenaries will, like you, scattered between various city-states, as well as those who pull your strings. You will drink deeply in the chaos between cities and countries, and it will nourish you. After Longcheng, no nomadic city is safe. Your kind will find more room to expand and thrive, and your people will prosper. Oh, sounds like a good deal. Just going off profits, I'm totally on board. Tell me, W, what doubts do you still have? None. You made a great case. What a standing ovation. No need. Then let's talk about my mission. Bad news, I failed. I didn't manage to bring back my target and she wouldn't give me the thing. That is not your fault. The kinship between Misha and Skullshatterer was bound to lead to uncertainties. Why'd you send me to grab the scientist's daughter then? It seems like you didn't even need her on the or her secrets for your big plan. Between the attack on Longcheng and firing up the core city, what was the point of her anyway? The authenticity of the key still has to be verified. I can personally verify that we've activated the core city, but Reunion still needs full control over the way it stops. That's where the keys come in. Mephisto told me the old geezer found in the abandoned city was the real deal. No, W, Mephisto would not tell you that. It would only be you spilling secrets to Mephisto while thinking about extracting the information you want from him. So, is that bit of news true or not? You're not interested in hearing my justifications, but you're also don't plan on offering yours either. I have my own channels, and might be a little bit more frank than I used to be. Oh, but I guess I could have mixed up my sources? Something like that. W, if you want me to be more transparent, I can explain to you the details of my plan. All of them. Skullshatterer and your first operation tested the LGD's response speed. It allowed us to adjust our strategy and improve upon our plans to take down Longcheng. Without your cooperation, we could not succeed. The key that truly exists but was lost upon Misha's death. The key that Patriots sought was only a backup plan to deal with this situation. I won't force you to tell me where your information came from, but my explanation should convince you. Oh, all right. But, leader, I want to know how many keys there are. Won't ask any more questions after that, yeah? 2. Sergei, Royal Chernobog scientist, held one of them, and delivered it to Misha using special means. The other was held by Count Boris, former mayor of Chernobog. During our attack, he broke off a city plate to flee. However, he was unable to escape the catastrophe. The ruined satellite city. Our undercover agents in the city have kept everything there that we need. We can lure the LGD into an ambush, given the proper distance. We have sufficient reasons to capture the abandoned city, and the best use of it is to occupy it and turn it into a stronghold. You're really good at explaining things, leader. I'm all out of questions. Hey, I'm not asking too many, am I? Sorry to make you waste so much time explaining it all to me. W, if openness can resolve the misunderstandings between us, I won't be stingy with my time. In order to ensure a relationship of long-term mutual benefit, I will continue to draw up our future plans. Hopefully, this can slightly increase the trust between us. We will need to support each other to have a chance at overcoming the troubles to come. Really? I'm touched. Of course. I never liked this woman. The Tallulah they talk so nice about in private is so insanely boring. And this Tallulah talking to me right now is just another lying bastard. Oh, not to say there's anything wrong with lying. I lie a lot. Nothing's stronger than a well-placed lie. Except maybe a bomb. The truth is like a cup of water. What good does it do when the whole house is on fire? But when I lie, I know I'm lying. I chew up my thoughts up and spit them into ears. This she-dragon though, she lies so natural it's like the words come out of someone else's mouth. Doesn't matter who she's talking to. It's not just tweaking a couple points to cover up her plans. She takes on a totally different form, turning into something they trust more, telling them what they want to hear. Reunion's most beloved figure is, of course, the leader Tallulah. Standing here with me, she's a businesswoman, a trader. With Patriot, she turns right into a warrior woman. She'll show her true face one day, but not everyone will live long enough to see it. Besides, does she even have a true face? Is she an onion? You keep Get out of my head, Shrek! You keep peeling off layer after layer until you realize there's nothing inside. I mean it. She was acting honest as an Iberian nun just a minute ago. She lifts her hand slightly. Huh, I know that trick. Right now she's like a cunning Sabra after a lifetime of raiding and killing. Something pulls away the air in front of me, and in a split second it'll melt away my whole body. Don't tell me you're ready to kill me after a little bit of teasing. Nobody has ever figured out the formless things Tallulah throws around, but I know exactly what they want to do. Ruins, debris, things lose even their most basic structure. It's just like a fire without light. I am her prey. I shouldn't have known. I should have known. Kinda obvious, Dragon Lady. The old Tallulah wouldn't have shown her cards this early. Waiting to die or plopping down some long-winded monologue before the end just isn't my style. I never thought about dying, at least not now. The small device I tossed out moments earlier while I was talking falls to the ground and blooms into a ball of flame before me. A wave of heat rushes towards me. Luckily, the comforting warmth isn't hers. I'm no arts expert. In my experience, 99% of arts are no match for this pure burst of energy. Explosions, heat, shrapnel, shockwaves. It's an equalizing force that tears apart any enemy or me. I just need to draw out the stalemate a little longer until all the seeds I planted finish blooming. You're such a hard worker, Tallulah. You even went through all the trouble to play out a sitcom with me. I knew it, you really would make a great actor. This Dragon Lady, I don't really hate her that much, do I? Those who don't know how to deceive cannot tell lies, and thus are not liars, and she is a monster soaked in lies. She doesn't need to lie. No wonder I get kinda... Okay, I admit it. I kinda scared when I see her. I don't hate her, but I might really be afraid of her. And fear breeds caution. If you've got your guard up, you're prepared. Your little tricks are actually able to neutralize my originating arts. I might have underestimated you. Hey, this little trick took me hours to put together. Show some respect, huh? But if a little bit of your fire was all it took to make me roll over and die, what kind of devil would follow me? You came prepared. You planned to attack me from the very beginning. You made the first move, Dragon Lady. Are you trying to torch me because I'm a pain, or do you wanna shut me up because I wanna see through you? Because I've seen through you. To punctuate my sentence, a wave of heat surges from her fingertips and leaps towards me. Man, this dragon bitch just won't let me have any fun. I bend my waist and drop into an exaggerated roll, making it look like I'm trying to tie my shoes. Uh-huh. Aim better next time. W, your dirty tricks have been exposed. You are now an enemy of reunion. Why do you oppose me? This is certainly of no benefit to you. Why? Why do you think this was my idea? I'm sure as hell didn't want us clawing at each other's faces this soon. Fact of the matter is, you attack me first. Trying for a little shock and awe, huh? I guess I have no choice then. I just have to kill you before you kill me. Your insanity has deepened your blind confidence. Lying to me is no big deal. I don't really care who you lie to, how many people you kill, or how many people you lied to. But Dragon Lady, you'll regret lifting a finger against me. Am I the kind of person who says stuff like this? Maybe I am really losing it. Can't even call this insanity at this point. Seems more sentimental than anything else. I guess I really fucked up. I see. Pretending to be crazed and stupid had us all fooled. Turns out, I have misunderstood your character this whole time. So considerate of others. What a lovely little devil you are. Such a colorful character. Not as lovely as you, of course, but you'll be even cuter once I rip your tongue out. Can't have it lolling around. Do you think your little traps are enough to kill me? Of course not. Did I ever mention that I set a trap? Better watch your feet. Might be a trap. Say, how many do you want? How many do you have? You pitiful thing, my flames have found you. You will pay for your betrayal. Ah, creepy. What's the matter with you? Who are you talking to with that tone voice? You. I know you hate these words, W. You also hate me for pointing out your purpose. Well, thanks for being so considerate of my preferences. You think you can rile me up with the right phrasing? And like, my purpose? How many people you plan to kill has nothing to do with me, Dragon Lady. What do you know about me? You've got like 80 different plots within plots going on in that noggin, and you're gonna guess what's in mine? W, you want to prevent me from using the core city to attack Lungmen. Oh. If you simply wanted revenge, you would not have chosen this moment. If you wanted to kill me, W, you could have waited until both Lungmen and I are incapacitated. That would have been the wise move. Trying to talk me into giving you information was another cover. A mercenary leader who cares nothing for the direction of Reunion would not ask me, the leader of Reunion, about my plans. You know, I won't kill you as long as you put aside your interest in this war. Do that and I'll spare your life. I'm fond of you, W. You're good comic relief, and I have no desire to execute a harmless harlequin. However,
A mad woman who will use any methods available to kill me has no right to judge good and evil, let alone claim to understand my plans. Are you really as violent and insane as the performances you put on suggest, W?
Would you shut up already?
You are not. You want to stop reunion. You want to stop the attack on Lungmen. Those are your intentions. W. W, you're all too easy to read. I don't even need to make any plans to investigate you. You came here wearing your heart on your sleeve.
That's a load of bullshit. I'll turn you into a puddle of gore and have someone dump you down the waste chute, assuming there's anything left. I pressed the button on the device in my hand, a simple originium detonator switch, remotely operated. Chained explosions. A blazing light of destruction mixing with a deliriously pungent aroma, waves of heat carrying fragments of debris, overturning everything in front of me. Just as I planned, everything reduced to cinder, even the most thick-skinned sarkas. Wait. Wait. Didn't I have a detonator mechanism for the explosives? Why did she plant her sword in the ground?
Was this your trap? Try me, W of the Sarkas. Try again.
Hold on, you. No fire, no burning. The hundreds of Virginium explosives I painstakingly twisted into the steel foundations of the city are all gone. But where are the explosions, the heat, the shrapnel? Nothing. The place where I planted the Originium is deformed, melted, and warped. Drips of iron and the burned oil paint covering it gives off nasty smell, but that's it. My shrapnel, my blast waves, my light show. It's not going to happen. The cataclysm that I pictured in my mind a million times over isn't going to happen. The cunning dragon lady must have poured her arts into her sword and channeled it deep into the steel beneath us. The heat radiated to each of my traps, melting them away. You figured it out. You're so smart, W. The world-ending explosion from all directions that should have blown her into a billion little pieces is nothing but a big wet fart. Alright, I've been thoroughly played. Dragon Lady, you're not half bad.
Was this result also part of your plans? Let me guess, your backup plan is you'll show me an improvised suicide bombing spectacle. Isn't that right? Let's not waste each other's time.
Don't get too cocky. Little girl. Say, are you even the same person? Right now, even I don't really want to know.
I don't need you to define me. Choose your death. Die by my flames, be thrown from the city walls, or be run through by my sword.
Can you really finish me off?
Steel must endure 1,000 trials in the forge before it can become a sword. A sword is destined from birth to be a weapon. But you are just a mortal shell that has not yet died.
Ah, that would be an honor. To be impaled by this sword, would I be, the first one?
Unfortunately, you'll have to accept second.
Now, if we're talking people I've blown up, you, well, wouldn't even have a number. Am I going to die? I guess so. What's so bad about death? There are many things worse than dying.
So, when you feel like you're done for, as long as you've prepared for the stuff worse than death, you'll even manage to surprise yourself. Now, I think it's about time I also blow this joint. You blew yourself apart right in my hands. I thought you'd be more afraid to die. Though your defection didn't surprise me, you yourself did surprise me a little. You had some potential as the opening act of a farce. I hope your death was painful enough. W. of Victoria. After the battle, 31 hours until impact, 6:30 p.m. Leader. Sir, your return gives me great peace of mind. Formalities unnecessary. There was a battle here, just now. It was between me and W who tried to assassinate me. Don't worry, I'm fine. From the reports I've received, she was already showing signs of rebellion when she occupied Chernobog. She made her own decision to let the enemy escape, instigated a Sarkis mercenaries' rebellion, and murdered her superior. These series of actions were likely caused by outside political forces. Where is she now? She should have stood trial. She detonated the explosives hidden around her body and fell into the core area. I will dispatch someone to search for her body. Sir, you need not worry yourself. That does not concern me. And her Sarkas, one of them. I will deal with it. Now that the core city is steadily moving on track, I'll need to stabilize the situation immediately. Leader, this core city was activated without my knowing. Why? Even the comms have been broken. We're out of options. Forces may attack Chernobog at any time and slaughter our compatriots. For their sake, we must first take down Lungmen. Right now, all energy must be used to support the operation of the core city, and we have no excess power to support tuning the ingoing and outgoing channels. The originium left behind by the catastrophe is so potent that we cannot endure it. The order to recall you exhausted the last of our backup supply. Now there is only one place that can provide us with enough refined originium. Even then, if time is right, please discuss with us. What you say may be correct. I'm sorry, sir. I should have given it more thought. But what's done is done. The key, how will you use it? It can stop the city. The city can be stopped. Many things once started will not stop. So, I'm entrusting this key to you. You'll decide when we stop. I apologize for giving you such an arbitrary command. You seem more subdued today than usual, sir. No, I will go to guard the core city. Someone will attack. They will try. And I will stop them. Excuse me, sir. Crown Slayer, Frostnova, Mephisto, and Faust are still waiting for our help. We must not let any outsiders interfere with our plans. Tallulah. What's the matter, my champion? Leader. Any evil, no matter how great, will always come to an end. This I firmly believe. Yes, I share the same conviction. Goodbye, leader. Go, patriot. To end this war and regain the status of the infected, reunion will crush all enemies standing in our way. What's this? A kind of Sarka's talisman. 2 pieces. This one is for you. The other one I will keep. What are these for? It's a bit heavy. They can keep you safe. You still believe in those weird Sarkis things. What's the point of this? Let me finish. Sure. This talisman can withstand torture, mortal wounds, destroyed organs. No, but the consumption of life it can withstand. Until it breaks. If yours breaks, mine will tremble. And I will go save you. What if both pieces break? Why aren't you saying anything? Fine, I'll hang on to it. Good. I'm obviously going to outlive you, so you just do your own thing. Help who? And what war? My talisman, it too has broken. You killed W. What are you going to do now? Liberate you. You will no longer need to bow before us Sarkas. All that you desire, I shall grant you. And what exactly is that? War. No longer will you have to endure the foul taste of slaughtering the weak. No longer will you waste your efforts like a pebble hitting a rock. I will give you a truly equal war. Sarka's wandering devils. What I will grant you is not only the fear of your victims. I will reforge your blood, your flesh, your steel, and the shame of countless generations of your ancestors. I will grant you slaughter, and I will grant you death. A new era has arrived, and war shall reign supreme. All Sarkas who wish to taste all that this new era has to offer, step forward. Who would you have us kill? Yep. Almost at the 40-minute mark, and that was just the cutscene stage. I think you can guess why this is gonna take a while. Anyway, moving on to stage 7-2, Night of Farewells. So let's begin with the before stage story. And for this one, I do need to keep the mouse on screen, so apologies. 6:30 p.m. So, literally at the same time as what just happened over there. Number 0000-00002, clearance level 8. Doctor, thank you for visiting the Rhode Island Interrogation Bioprocessing Unit. Your intentions have been determined through analysis of available biological data. In addition, this system detects that you are in a bad mood. And what would count for a good mood? Good and bad are subjective judgments. However, this system has collected nearly all documented states of mental activity, as well as hormonal criteria for various types of neurological excitement. So you could argue that the system's subjective judgment is substantially closer to objective truth. Therefore, no matter what actions the doctor may take, the system will be able to process it to some degree. Which is to say, you may do as you wish. PRTS is equipped with a non-lethal pacification function. Should you take unreasonable action, you will lose consciousness for 3.55 working hours, ensuring you maintain a behavioral standard close to normal. Welcome home, Doctor. Can this really be called home? Are you the doctor?
Hello?
It's you, I'm sure of it. I can feel it. You're a little different. But the person you're holding, that uniform, can I ask who's that you're holding?
A fighter.
Fighter? Oh, she wounded you. Were you fighting? No, you weren't. This isn't a lethal wound. Traces of people communicating with each other. Smell, warmth, shape. I'm not sure, but she...
The girl reaches out to Frost Nova. I will let her.
No. You don't want me to do that. No, I'm an outsider. I don't know her. I can't do this, can I? I'm sorry.
Can you read minds like Amiya?
No, I can't. Amiya is special. I know Amiya's arts, and I think she suffers a lot. Did you want to use this machine?
If this is indeed the final resting place of the infected...
It is. Just a second. Let me check the log. Yes, they cleared out this cabin already. Put her on this slab. Easy now. There. The slab will slide in there and wait for it to close and finally press this button.
You're really familiar with it.
Oh, I had to do this a lot. I had to use it a lot.
Why?
This is where all of Rhode Island's infected end up. And if I knew them, if I felt them, if they were my teammates, I always take care of them myself. The original manual was really complicated, but I wrote down how to use it in my terminal. Just a quick look and I can feel it.
Feel, what?
It's like a chain.
A chain?
Or I could say it's like seeing the links between people. Sending off the people tied to you means untangling the lines around them. The other ends of the threads are still tied to us, but even when one side is gone, the threads don't hang down. It feels like you've lost something inside you, something you don't know was there, but knowing it won't come back.
Why would you want to feel that?
Because if you know the feeling, it won't suddenly sting you, right?
So then you...
Excuse me. Identifier for Rosmontis, elite operator, present in Rhode Island's integrated infected bioprocessing unit, will expire in 15 minutes. I will update you momentarily. Stand in place for about 15 seconds. In addition, there is a skirmish taking place by the starboard hull. If possible, please assist after updating your identification code in order to reduce resource consumption. Oh, okay. I'll go do that. I'm making a note of it in my terminal. Reminding you for the 6th time, if you would allow access to this system, it could send the information directly to... No. I'm the only one who can use this. Understood.
Elite operator?
PRTS means me.
Should I call you Rosmontis?
Yes, Rosmontis. What about her? I think I should at least know her name.
Frostnova.
Frostnova. A good name. Hello, Frostnova. Bye-bye.
Alright, and moving on to the after part. Wei Yanbu's office. Again, 6:30 p.m.
Correct, Mr. Wei. 32 hours from now, the core city will collide with Lungmen. Its urban identification code has not been changed, which means that the core of Chernobog, this nomadic city, is still Ursa's territory. So, attacking it would be an act of war.
Reunion holding Ursa's hostage like this is the height of absurdity.
You're unreasonably calm, Mr. Wei. Did it occur to you what a peace-loving country the Empire is?
Ursa's expansionism is driven by a lust for wealth, territory, and growth. If it was profitable, the Empire would start a world war without a second thought, and they would have done it decades ago. But to provoke a war with Yan, the fact that Yan has not waged war for centuries does not mean they lack the capacity to fight. But I'd say a militaristic state might struggle to understand what it is that's led to Yan's prosperity. A world war would leave both sides devastated. Yan would need a long time to recover, but Ursa's, with its myriad internal conflicts, would take it even harder. Ursa's is no longer the well-devoted beast it once was, and only fools and madmen would wage a war that is costly, unprofitable, and doomed to fail.
Mr. Wei, as far as I know, fools and madmen are a dime a dozen in the nomadic cities of the world.
Weeding out such people is one of my most important duties, and it's a function of the State Council of Ursa's. Once the State Council responds, we'll implement measures to put a stop to the Chernobog core. The diplomats will handle the rest. Our only responsibility is to take control of this crisis before it gets out of hand.
You have that much faith in the Empire?
No, I have faith in mutual interest. Fighting war after war teaches bitter lessons. And even though Ursus has won a lot of riches from its wars, it has been unable to fight the internal rot those wars have bred. It has not been able to integrate the peoples and lands it has conquered, and no nation can handle a rebellion while choking down the poison brewed by the mutual crisscrossing hate of its own populace. The Empire of Ursus is a rotting corpse, posturing to look strong.
And that is why you believe Ursus will act in its own interest and abide by our deal with you?
I have no deal with the chairman of the State Council, verbal or otherwise, but the two of us have about the same amount of sanity left. Fumizaki, send a messenger for me. I have to make use of this time. Fumizaki?
There is another message here for you. Dr. Kaltsit, Amiya, Shen, you should hear this too.
Fumizaki?
You will change your mind when you hear this.
I don't think so.
If you reject their help again, we'll truly be isolated.
Chief Wei, you must act immediately upon receiving this message. What? That's my messenger.
been encrypted. Mr. Wei, groups 3 and 4 are standing down. We are unable to get to the source of the matter. I can't even speculate on who the mastermind might be. They were whispering from the parliamentary gallery, laughing at my miserable, helpless performance, but I found no evidence to hold them accountable. If something happens in Chernobog, you must do everything you can to stop it. Otherwise, who knows what will happen. You have the wisdom and the ability to stop it at its source. What we could not do, you must do in our stead. That's the end. I want to hear the rest. The rest is the messenger's
I'm not sure that's the way you pronounce this word, but solilo? I cannot even do it. Soliloquy? I guess? Has my messenger. He's my messenger. Let me hear it. I was unable to meet Chairman Witt, and the messenger he sent to liaise with me was waylaid by unknown forces. Fortunately, the messenger is still safe and sound. The messenger slipped out of deity Gryffindor in the dead of night, and someone secretly aided him. I believe there are forces within Ursus vying for supremacy. I was attacked many times on the road after that, and there were many others who tried to protect me. Witt tried to help them. I reached the Oral Rift and commandeered a messaging station. What happens now, even I don't know. I hope to make it back to Lungmen to enjoy the flavors of home once again. How is he now? Unclear if he's still alive or dead. It sounds like the chairman of the State Council plans to stand by and see how this plays out. The State Council is at the heart of the Empire, but Chernobog is out of the periphery now. The borderlands must belong to the army and some remnants of the ancient nobility. The army hasn't had a chance to engage in such operations since the Great Rebellion, but the infected did. The ancient nobility, closely watched as they were, couldn't have planned the Chernobog incident, but the infected could. Indeed, most of Reunion's infected had no training. They didn't stand a chance against the Ursus Guard and the Chernobog Riot Police. But a catastrophe did. Chernobog failed to split the plates in time, and there was nothing they could do against the catastrophe. Reunion had to infiltrate the city early to stop the security forces from mobilizing, while the army ignored their maneuvering. Longmen and Rhode Island anticipated Reunion's actions, and the LGD made a plan to annihilate them, but Chernobog. Even to this day, Chernobog and the Ursus Court haven't said a word. Now we know why. Writing off the city and all of its inhabitants, Ursus handed Chernobog over to Reunion. And the infected who have lived so long on the threshold of death that they no longer fear it would assume control of the city after the catastrophe. They didn't have to do anything, they just got out of the way. They only had to let it happen. But after suffering a catastrophe, Chernobog was just a dead city with nothing of value, which left the infected heading for Lungmen. No matter who's running Reunion, all the elements were perfectly aligned. Give the order. The sensors must stand down, use force if necessary. We'll prepare for war. We must be absolutely certain we can disable that core before it's too late. And no one is to know of this until the Chernobog core is stopped. Mr. Wei? You're going to start the war yourself. Fumizuki, you've seen all Lungmen has been through. You must know. My brother wouldn't stand for me starting a war with Ursus. I must take the initiative. We must take control of the situation, even if it costs all of Lungmen. Starting a war means being seen as an aggressor. It makes it more difficult to forge alliances.
The first one to enter a state of war is likely to find itself isolated. But the worst part is, no one can know the truth until after the war is over, whether it might be... Some countries don't even care about the truth. All they want is an excuse. But Mr. Wei, I believe we can achieve peace through diplomatic means.
Thank you for your suggestion, Madam Countess. But I'm afraid White and I are the last hope for peace between our two countries. Whatever our enemy is, the Empire's Third Army or the Emperor of Ursus, this war is going to happen eventually, even if we are certain to win it. Peace is no longer possible. If White is too meek to use official channels to put a stop to this, it means he'll face too much resistance and criticism for it, even if it works. He's a politician. He has to look out for himself. Having pushed him this far, the Empire's bureaucracy may be in some state of semi-paralysis.
A couple of divisions can hold Ursus hostage, but not Longmen. This is not Ursus. You're entitled to an emergency response to another moving city. Wouldn't it then be too late to separate the city?
If the car is not stopped, the collision will destroy Longmen, and the conflict that follows will cause further, unfathomable disaster.
But to stop the core...
Firing our guns or sending a Spec Ops team would indeed mean a declaration of war on Ursus. Anything White might have been able to stop has been cut completely loose by the Chernobyl core. An isolated city cut off from all communication, left with nothing but identification codes, needs very little explanation. As you say, Doctor, it's up to Lungmen now. Only we can stop Chernobyl core.
Think carefully, Mr. Wei. There are serious consequences to an act of war.
War is serious business, but the other choices as far as Lungmen is concerned would be far worse.
Mr. Wei, Rhode Island... I'll go. Miss Shen? Shen? I'll take care of it.
You're a Lungmen Knight.
I can leave, Lungmen.
Superintendent Shen, don't play the hero. This isn't your responsibility.
If Lungmen needs a traitor, let it be me. I'm sick of you, Wei and Wu. You and your precious city. I stopped being a Lungmenite even before you dug your claws into the slums.
Now is not the time for a debate on ethics.
What did they do? Why did you have to do that to them?
What did they do? Tell me, Miss Shen. What did they do? Tell me, where was it Reunion hid themselves? Where was it they snuck into our city? You trust the slum dwellers, but do they trust you? Where did that trust come from? Have any of them, aside from your informants or Lin Kujui's ears, reported the infected infiltrating their homes?
Things happen so fast. That doesn't mean anything.
Did you receive even a single tip? Yes or no?
No.
Not one, not a single person stepped up. They don't trust you. They would rather put their faith in foreign provocators than the Rat King or the Superintendent of the LGD.
Maybe Reunion was threatening them. Reunion's infected are known to be violent and dangerous.
Did they forget that Lungmen has never raised a hand against them? I don't blame them for supporting each other. In fact, if the infected didn't support each other, if they hated each other instead, the slums would have long since destroyed themselves. But they would have opposed Reunion. They could have come together with the Rat King's people to fight the infiltrators. They could have asked for your help.
They don't trust?
Exactly. They don't trust you.
After all you've done for them, they still don't trust you. We should have sent the LGD into the slums long ago. It was the locals who didn't want the LGD in the slums. They were the ones working against my LGD time and time again. Even as Lin Kujui and I worked so hard to root out the criminals and foreign agents from the slums, it was those same locals who scoffed at the sacrifices of our soldiers. What is Longmen that rejected them? Was it Longmen that rejected them? Answer me, Miss Shen. Look me in the eye and answer me. It's not their fault. Then whose, pray tell, is it? How many times have I told you? You have the right to your own thoughts and opinions, provided you don't let them affect your work. The LGD is here to protect Longmen. The Special Inspection Unit is here to guide the LGD to protect Longmen. The slums you've done so much for have become a vulnerability that could lead to Longmen's destruction. Reunion exploited the infected among them to distract us, letting our guard down to Chernobog. The measures we took to fight off Reunion left us open to this maneuver by the core city, and those infected stood by and did nothing. If Longmen falls here, it is ultimately by their hand. No. Who should be held responsible for turning Longmen into a flashpoint? Who is responsible for lives lost and blood spilled? So much destruction over a few neighborhoods, just because we didn't act in time. When you say act, do you mean... Whose fault is it? Was it Longmen that rejected them? No. It was they who rejected Longmen. So you'll dispose of them? Indifference and a lack of vision already destroyed them. I have no reason to care for these people anymore. Shen, we are all tainted with our innumerable mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. All we can do is fix them, or cover them up for a while. There is always someone who can do what I can't, but for now, I still have things to do. Everyone makes mistakes. I know what you're saying. The infected are a mistake, as long as they exist in the city. Pig-headed girl. Superintendent Shen, I have told you everything. Now do what you must. Alright then. Wei and Wu, what I must do, what the LGD must do, is name who is at fault and correct their mistake. It seems that according to your definition, I am at fault. We could also say I am the mistake, because I am infected. You... Shen? Madam Shen. There is no need to hide it anymore. For 3 years you've been hiding my infection from the world. Not that that have no place in the city, neither do I. Nonsense. She and I are both infected. I don't belong here. I know what I must do, and I won't be making any more mistakes. I'm the only one who can stop her. Okay, for these scenes right here, I know the two people who are talking, but I'm not sure who is who, so I'm just gonna read them out. So apologies for that. Don't feel bad, I understand. We're sworn brothers, aren't we? Brothers, remember where we came from. Sworn brothers ruined. I am infected and a traitor to Lungmen. I am the only one who can do this. I hate you, and I hate them. I should love you, but right now, I hate every last one of you. Blood relations ruined. We've come this far. All we can do is keep running. Why me? Why does it have to be me? Who could feel safe sitting here? Close family ruined.
No. If you leave this office today, Shen Hu Shi, you will be an enemy of Longcheng. You will never again be allowed to set foot in this city. And all that we've worked for together the past 10 years will come to nothing.
Everything I worked for came to nothing as soon as you did what you did. Longmen is about to go up in flames. A battle is upon us. You have your ways, I have mine. The only difference is, I'm not like you. I don't think anyone is a mistake.
I won't let this city fall, but I won't go in without a plan either. Power is a tool, and at the end of the day, if you are going to use this tool to tinker with the world, you have to conform to its expectations. Don't make a mockery of yourself, Inspector Shen. Laugh at that, and you're laughing at yourself. I raised you to change it. I hope that you would change this world to want more than prosperity and growth.
So, has it changed? Can it be changed? Does everything I've worked for actually mean anything?
Even if it can't now, it must be someday. You're going to make sure it can change.
Wait, stop, who are you? You can't go in there. Security! Where are the guards? There's an intruder!
Lord Wei, we will act. Get out. Let us act. You shouldn't have come.
Wei and Wu, that's all it took to show your true colors. Your private army just shows up here in your office.
Madam Shen, Longmen is threatened.
Sounds like you have a strong sense of duty. But I don't believe a word you say. If we have something for him, go ahead.
Lord Wei, it is within our means to infiltrate the city, kill the mastermind, and stop the collision. We shall sacrifice our lives for the city and lift this burden from thy shoulders. Get out! Lord Wei.
How about it, Wei and Wu? Will you send them or send me? Is that a tough choice? Why is it you're so decisive when it comes to killing people and so indecisive when it's time to save them? That's how it is now. That's how it was then. I didn't expect a chance at a proper goodbye. I've thought about it many times, Wei and Wu, but I never expected to give anyone a proper goodbye. Miss Fumizaki, I am sorry my mom treated you like that. Thank you for looking after me all these years. I've always thought of you as family. Shen?
Superintendent Shen.
Not anymore. This badge, you can have it back.
Caesar!
You want to fight here first? To decide who's the real traitor?
Superintendent Shen, the enemy's at our gates.
I'm infected. I'm your greatest enemy.
Cease and desist, or I will show no mercy.
Who have you ever shown mercy? Don't sound all high and mighty about things you can't do.
Lord Wei, look out!
Shi Xiao, Rao Shi.
Brother, if this sword is used to slay dragons, does it also work on Dracos?
It just might be. Looks like I'll have to be more careful around you. Our arts are overflowing. Doctor, get behind me. I'll block the arts. No, it'll just get torn apart by that kind of power. She's not aiming for us. Get out of her range right now. Okay. Our arts are beginning to expand. Back up. Release!
The dragon slaying sword, unsheathed.
You can block it with just your wrist.
Most astute. I see your swordsmanship is sharper than ever, Superintendent.
Tempered Originium. Shishao, huh? You think they're still making weapons like that?
Doctor, is that sword specifically forged to fight against energy-based arts? At first, Madame Shen didn't even let me look at that sword. Was she envisioning a situation where I would be an enemy?
Out of my way! Lord Wei, the superintendent has chosen her path. I may not be able to block a second blow. Shall I put my life on the line? Through my death, I assure you that Inspector Shen will remain in Lungmen, though I cannot guarantee that she'll have her limbs intact. I can assure you that she lives. Impermissible. You fall back. Don't engage her directly. I shall immediately alert my brothers. Planning to call reinforcements. Shishao. Seize. Yushi, are you going to use a cloud-splitting sword? Don't forget who taught you your swordsmanship and your arts. I never once thought to strip you of your swordsmanship, but I will no longer play nice at this point. Don't force my hand, Shen Yushi. Do it then, Master Wei. Shishao answers to me. The day you gave me Shishao, did you think I would slay you? I won't use it to spill your blood, Wei and Wu. You think you're protecting me, right? My mother died to depression. Tallulah was taken away. I contracted neuropathy in the course of my work. You think everything you've done was for the sake of protecting me, don't you? Is that because of your guilty conscience, or because of your confidence in your own strategies? I don't want to witness another tragedy ever again. Liar. Wei and Wu, they are those who this sword seeks to kill and those who it seeks to protect. If she truly wishes to destroy Lungmen, no, you must not go. I never thought it would I never thought I would beat you and your black cloaks here. But there is more than one way out of here, Wei and Wu. The window. Shen Yushi, stop this foolishness. We're hundreds of meters above the ground. This wouldn't be the first time I've used the window route, or the second. Shen Yushi, you must not go to her. Shen. You mustn't repeat the same mistakes. You cannot go down the same path we did. If there's anyone who would die for the city, that person should be... Uncle? No. Wei and Wu, starting today, we are strangers. The sound of glass smashing echoes across the room, and Shen falls face up from the tall building. The Lord of Lungmen let out a thunderous roar, and the man in the black poncho leapt towards the window, like an arrow springing from a bowstring. But Shen had already made up her mind. Alright, and this is another point why I think this is a good point to stop it. Because moving on from here, it will be a lot of preparations for future missions. And the continuation of what we just saw, obviously. So, a nice little warm-up. But yeah, man, what a beginning. The first two stages are already over an hour long just for these narration purposes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, the rest of the stages do have like stuff like, for example, 7-4 is, I think, just an either before or after stage, and so on and so forth. But yeah. When you get to the point where the episodes for the game were delayed in between each one, like event stories, for example, when there was being work done on the
on the story for a long while, then yes, they are dense. And especially now that we are approaching a climax of sorts. But yeah, 32 hours from this mark onwards till a collision between two gigantic moving cities. The countdown is ticking, and we still have one big boy to deal with. One obstacle. But this will be it for today, I would say. I love this. I do love this beginning, especially stage 7-1. If you do come from the Darknight's Memoir series right into stage 7-1, the like little explanation and showcase of how W is, what makes her tick, the initial meeting, even though they only briefly, very briefly hint at it, or rather show it a bit with meeting Tallulah in the past, and then the whole thing of being prepared, something being prepared in the background. Yep. And obviously the main story had already shown us so far that W is definitely doing something in the background, and there we go. And yes, Tallulah is terrifying. Absolutely motherfucking terrifying as an opponent. And as this chapter will show, so is Big Daddy. Also, if it wasn't clear from the voices that I was doing here at 7-1, when the screen fades to black and you have, I think it was Shield voice and Horse voice, that was basically a scene between the Horse voice being Patriot, the Shield voice being Child voice, sorry. Was it Child voice or Child voice? I can't remember right now. But yeah, the other voice being Frost Nova in the past. And if you guys remember back, when we finished the fight against Frost Nova, something shattered. And Frost Nova just snippishly remarked this, maybe it was a fake thing. A fake talisman. But yeah, that was literally that. So yes, Big Daddy knows that his adopted daughter has perished. So keep that in mind going forward in the future installments. But yeah, like I said, this will be it for today. Moving onwards towards the weekend will be, well, it will be busy. I will over the weekend try to cover the side story that's gonna go live in I think like 24 hours from where I'm recording this, or more or less, I don't know. Don't remember what the time was, but yeah. Time for a Laterano story, which I will try to squeeze in over the weekend. Plus there's gonna be a shit ton of operator records and modules. We'll probably finally be able to do a new module series because I've kept hoarding them for well, the new operator, if I get her. I think double module, if I remember correctly, and Mostima is getting a module, which I'm actually interested to see what the heck that module is, which I'm probably gonna see anyway after the update goes live in the game. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, this, like I said multiple times already, Jesus, I keep rambling. This will be it for today. So thank you all for watching. This has been Jacob. I hope you have a fantastic day. And for anybody who is going to be pulling on the new character banner, good luck. If I succeed, you will probably see a pull video go up on the channel first before anything else. So yeah. But until then, hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.